Good morning. We are coming near to Christmas. So exciting. I have a special story for us this morning. I wanted to share with you because there are many people who talked about the story of Christmas and how it unfolds. And it's time for us to think about what they had to say. The first of those were the prophets. And prophets are people who come so close to God, and God comes so close to them that they know what God wants them to do. The prophets knew something amazing was going to happen. And they told people, they said, pay attention. Something is going to happen. They weren't exactly sure what or how, but they knew it was coming. We're going to put the sign of the prophets on our blue cloth. Dark blue is a serious color. Back then, when the prophets talked, only really important people got to wear the color dark blue, because it took special dyes to make it that were very expensive. So we know that somebody special is coming. Do you see the first candle for Advent? That was from the first week of Advent. Now, look at the second week of Advent. 2 candles and the city of Bethlehem. The city of Bethlehem was the place where Mary and Joseph had to go to be counted, because the emperor wanted everybody counted so that everybody would pay taxes. And he sent them on a journey to Bethlehem, the city where Joseph's family came from. I'm going to put this down here. And I want us to find Mary and Joseph in our basket, because they made that long, long journey to Bethlehem. When they got to Bethlehem, many other people were there because they too needed to be counted. There was no place to stay. And Mary was so tired. Traveling when you're about to have a baby is very difficult. She had to walk. Joseph had a donkey, and sometimes when she got very tired, she rode on the donkey. But that was not easy when you're pregnant either. So she would get off and walk again. It took a long time. So when Mary and Joseph got to the city of Bethlehem, there was no place for them to stay. All the rooms were taken. And the only place they could find was a stable where the sheep and the animals were. Do you see the 3 candles? We're almost there. Mary and Joseph stayed in the stable. So we'll put some of the animals in. And there was a manger. That was where the animals got their food. And there was a cow as well. Also in our story, we have the 3 kings. Do you see their crowns? The kings came from far away. They were very wise. In fact, people called them magi. They seemed to know everything. They watched the stars in the sky. They listened and waited. And the kings knew. They knew something amazing was going to happen. So they decided it was time to go. They looked for the star in the sky, and they left. It was a very long journey from far away. They didn't arrive quite on time because it took so long. We'll put the camel in the Kings. And then, finally, the star led them to a funny place. Not a grand palace, not something where people would expect a king to be born, but to that lowly stable with the manger. In the little city of Bethlehem. And it was in that manger, Mary and Joseph fluffed up the hay and put a blanket down and put their baby to stay and be warm. I think the cow must have thought that that was so strange because the manger was where he got his food to eat. Can you imagine what the cow must have thought when he looked in the manger and there was a baby in there? He must have been so surprised. We still follow that star. We still walk like the kings and gather like the shepherd at the manger and wait for the coming of this baby. It's so surprising and so wonderful that we can't understand all of it. But each time we draw close, we know a little bit more. We know that even in times when things are very difficult and strange, like right now, God is always present with us in sometimes the strangest ways, but God is always there. Just like that cow found when he looked to get his food and saw a baby. The baby is always with us. And that is our story today. I'm going to put everything back where it belongs. But you might like to make a picture at home of this story. Of the baby who was born at the end of a journey. Of the shepherds and the kings. Or maybe you'd like to draw a picture of the star that shone brightly in the night. We're going to see special stars in the sky this month too. So maybe you could ask your parents if you could stay up one time and watch. And see and think about what those three kings must have thought when they saw the star in the sky. Amen.